So now, first, in any language, whenever you are going to develop any sort of program, you are in requirement of IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Like that, you are working with, you have worked with C, and either you are having a C editor or Turbo C editor, in which those are the editors in which you are creating the softwares. Likewise, that if you are working with the .NET technology, whether it is web, desktop, or mobile development, you are having one IDE that is called as the Visual Studio. In a Visual Studio, we can develop any sort of .NET programs. So first, we need to understand what exactly the Visual Studio is. So your primary requirement, if you do have your laptops and if you want to work with .NET technology, then the first requirement is you must have the SQL Server and Visual Studio installed on your computer. So now, first we start with the Visual Studio, the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, under which you are going to create your own programs of .NET. So just this is the Visual Studio. The first thing is, as we are working with the ASP.NET, it is 100% web work. So in web, there are three types of projects. One is website, one is web project, and one is web services. Website and web project, the coding is 100% same, but internal representation of both type of projects are different. But we will work with the website right now. So first thing is how to create a website in Visual Studio, how to open the website, and how to run the website. These simple 3 steps we are going to perform right now. How to create the website, how to locate the website or open the website, and how to run the blank website. So first is create the website. File menu, new website. So one new website window is open. So let us understand different components of this. Here it asks for the framework. See, in a 2003, .NET is just launched before 12 years or 13 years. At that time, the version was 1.0. As Java is there, if you want to run Java program, what is required in your computer? If you want to run Java program, what is required? No, JDK is a development. No? JDK is not required to run your program. JDK, yes, Java Virtual Machine, yes. That is a machine which is responsible to run the Java program. So likewise that, if you want to run any sort of program or .NET program, you are in requirement of .NET framework. So different frameworks are there. Like in which framework you want to develop your own website. Right now the latest version is framework 4.5. So this is a framework in which I want to develop my. So by default it will be there 4.5, or if you select 2.0, it doesn't make any difference to us right now because it will be the common one. Then there are many languages which supports the development of ASP.NET programs or websites. See, ASP.NET is not a language, it is a platform in which you can create a website. But as it's a web programming, you must have some language to code, to program. There are many languages like VB.NET, C#.NET, COBOL.NET, VC++.NET, VJSharp.NET. There are many types of framework languages which supports in .NET framework. So in which language we want to create this website, that we need to select. So here see the template in which I am selecting the C#. See here the only 2 templates are there because whenever I have created or installed the Visual Studio, it is a default. Two languages are there. If you want to develop another language, then you must have some other pages to there with Visual Studio. But right now we are going to work with C# language. We are going to work with C# language. So ASP.NET with development language C#. Then there are many types of templates to create. ASP.NET Web Forms, ASP.NET Empty Website, ASP.NET Website Razor V1, Razor V2. This Razor framework is for MVC. You must have heard name MVC framework. And we are going to work with ASP.NET Forms. So in ASP.NET there are totally two types of working is there. One is ASP.NET Forms, which we are going to learn in this semester. And second is ASP.NET MVC framework. It is a totally different framework. But right now in this syllabus, or you can say in this workshop, we'll stick with ASP.NET Forms. These are the some services, but we will right now work empty website. I want to create a simple blank empty website. Now we need to locate. Where exactly you want to save this website. Location. So there are three locations available. One is on FTP, File Transfer Protocol. If your website is online, you are having FTP account, and directly if you want to load that online website to your Visual Studio, you can, or you can save that. HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or file system. But right now we are working with this Windows system, so we want to save the website in our computer only. So we are going to select the web location, that is a file system. We have created one folder. Say in Darshan folder, there is one folder with 6th ASP.NET workshop, in which I want to create one folder, say 6th web demo. In this folder, I want to save the website. So I'm going to select this folder from here, say Darshan, then 6th ASP.NET workshop and 6th web demo, and OK. This is what one empty project, empty website has been created. See, one default file, this is a configuration file, has been created automatically by the Visual Studio once you create an empty website. This is web.config file. This is a web.config file. This is an XML file, or you can say a configuration file, which is necessary to run your ASP.NET project or ASP.NET website. Now, where exactly the website is? I have created the website. How can I view the website? So here, there are the different components in Visual Studio environment. So right side, there is a Solution Explorer. This is Solution Explorer. Means the entire solution, entire website will be here only. You can add different web pages, you can delete the web page, you can modify the web page, or not only the web page, but many different pages which is supported by the ASP.NET web application or website is going to be there. So your entire project will be loaded into the this Solution Explorer. Is it okay? See, in this particular folder you can check the web.config file is there. And also in a Visual Studio, see, 6th web demo is the name of the website, and here you can see web.config. Web.config is a configuration file which has been created by the Visual Studio for you once you created a blank website. Now let me ask you some of the questions. So you know what exactly the extension is. What is the extension of C program? .c. Like that. What is the extension of Java programming? .java. So some extension must be there in the ASP.NET program. So once I am going to create a web form, so what will be the extension? So let me have one page in which it is write extension .aspx. So aspx is an extension. ASP means this is the old technology. ASP, active server pages, and X is extended version of old classic ASP, that is ASP.NET. That is why the extension is .ASPX, active server pages extended version. So again, as it is a website, HTML must be there. Without HTML, you cannot start the website. So your web page is divided into two parts. One is the HTML part or design part. One is the HTML part or design part, and second page which is going to be generated automatically .spx.cs, as we have selected C# language. So extension will be .spx.cs. If I had created the VB.NET language I have selected, then here the extension will be .spx.vb. That will be the extension of class file. So whenever I am going to create any ASP.NET web form, blank web form or blank web page, you can say, two files will be generated, one with extension ASPX in which only design will be there, and another page that will be .aspx.cs, that is a class file in which really you are going to write a program in C# language. So in ASP.NET.aspx.cs file you are going to write C# programming, and in .aspx file you are going to perform designing. So designing portion and coding portion will be in separate file. In PHP, when you start working, there is only one file, that is .php. The designing is in that PHP only, coding in the PHP only, but in .NET, designing is in separate file, coding is in separate file. So design and coding are 100% separate in .NET. So let us create a simple web form. So in the Solution Explorer, in the project, right click, add new item. I want to create simple web form. So use different type of forms or objects is available. So right now I am in need of one form. By default it will have a name default.aspx. .aspx is that. So I can rename this one as per my need. My first web form.aspx, and here you are getting two checkboxes. One is place code in separate file, means what? Whatever the coding portion is there, you want your coding portion in the separate file. Yes, we want, of course. There are two files we want to maintain. One is the ASPX file for designing, ASPX.cs file for coding. So we want a separate. So by default it is stick. Second is select the master pages. Master pages is a somewhat advanced concept of ASP.NET. Once we will reach over there, at that time we will use this one. So right now we will forget the master pages. Just add. So here, see two files you can view. One is my first web form.aspx, and second one is my first web form.aspx.cs file. So again, once I will see right now in here you can view only one, but here in this form you can view these two things. Double click on this. This is a development environment here. This is again, it looks like HTML. It looks like, see, it's a HTML, the head portion, the body portion. So this is a simple HTML. But here there is one directive at the right page language is the C#. This ASPX is developed with the C# language, and it is event driven. So event wire up is equal to true. Code file means what? The file which I am going to code, it is in this one, and inherit is equal to this. So this is a class file in which I'm going to code. So in this file I'm going to write a code, and in this file I'm going to have a design. Save this one, and if you have to view this web page in browser, then just right click on the web page, viewing browser. Default is Firefox. Right now setting my Visual Studio. So select, and blank website or blank web page is open in the browser. Is it clear? See, my first web test is open. Nothing. Now say, you have to write down H1. This is it visible now? Institute of Engineering and Technology. You just written like this. You just save and refresh over here. So whatever the portion you have written in the .spx file is going to be visible in the page. So this is how you have created a website. If I want to close this one, then just close, file, close the solution. Now see, now it is empty solution. Now again I have to reopen the same website. Then file, then open website. Then you just select this folder and open. So from that folder all the pages will be loaded in the Solution Explorer. Now your website is again ready to work. Is it clear? Now see, in .spx form you can view these three windows. One is design window. Once you click on design window, you can directly design over here. One is split window, means HTML portion is there and design portion is there, and one is only source view. So as per your convenience, you can work in any mode. So now there are different controls, different tools available. So if I want to learn any language, I need to learn the different controls available in that language. That is the first thing. In ASP.NET there are many controls available. So here left side there is a toolbox. There are many tools available for the development of interactive websites. Standard controls, data controls, standard controls, add to data, bulleted list, button control, calendar control, checkbox list, drop down list, file upload control, hidden field, hyperlink, image control, image balance. See, there are lots of generic controls. There are many data controls: chart, data list, data feature, grid view, disk view, like this. Different validation controls, navigation controls. See, these three we are going to learn: the standard, data validation, and navigation. Not all, but major used controls we will study. Login controls is a part of advanced ASP.NET. Web parts is not required in the syllabus. Ajax is again the extension of JavaScript. And these are the different simple HTML controls like that. But we are going to work with the standard controls right now. So right now the goal is to create one small application. So the first generic control is text box control. So let me have enter over here and use one of the text box. So text box control is there. Just double click on text box control. On the right side, it is going to appear. Okay. Now another window. See, two windows we have learned. One is toolbox, one is Solution Explorer. In toolbox, different type of tools which you can use for the development of the website is there. In Solution Explorer, the entire website content and all the pages are there. Now the third box of your development is I'm just selecting the control and pressing F4, or you are having a property window over here. See, this is solution explorer, this is property window. Again it is auto hide, so I can make it hide or like this. Select and F4. This is property window. You can set the properties of this control from here only. So let us start with learning the different properties. Say you assume that you are having a giant form and in which around about 50 to 60 controls are there. How to identify a particular control from the web page? So the first thing you keep in mind is, if you are going to use any control, you must give proper name to that control. That is the ID property. The first property, which is there with all controls. As a professional programmers, you must give a proper prefix by giving the naming or giving the name to the control. So this is a text control and say it's institute name. So give the ID like this. TXT is a prefix, and then whatever the name of the control you want, say institute name. So I have given the property, I have set the property ID of a given control. Now this is compulsory to set. By default it will be random generated textbox 1, textbox 2, textbox 3 like this. But the good practice is give the name to that control. That is the ID property, txt institute name. Is it okay? Now again, let's go over here and refresh the page. As we had created, reopen the website, right click and view in browser. So this one here, this is a control over here on web page. Now let us move toward the different properties. You set the width of the say 250 pixels. So now width increased, so I can set the width, I can set the height, then text property. If I'm going to set the text from here, set the Sun Engineering College. So I have set this one over here, and then you can set the font if you wish. Bold true, italic true, size 15 pixels. So now let us check whether it's working or not. Yes, you can set the different font style. See, these are the generic properties which is available with all controls. One is ID property. You must give the name to uniquely identify control from your web page. These are the different controls. Then you can go for the 4 color if you wish to have this one, and likewise that background color you use in dark. So background color is a property. Bordered color, make it this much green. Border style, the many style, dotted, solid, grieved, inside, outside, solid, and bordered with say 2 pixels. It's not going to look nice, but let us just set and check whether it's working or not. Yes, see, the green border with 2 pixels. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now, one most important property is that text mode. Say, let us first remove the text one, this one, and say password. I'm asking for password. Okay. The password. If you ask the password, and I'm writing, say, so you can view the password. See, whenever anyone is going to write the password, it should be, it should not visible. It should not visible. But it must be the text box control. So if you are having a Yahoo password or a Gmail password, so it is having the dot instead of the password. You cannot view the password text. So here, for that you are having a one text mode, that is text mode property of this particular text box. Right now by default it is a single line. By default the text box is single line. If I convert it to password, if I convert the text mode to password, then it will be single line, but instead of the password, say whatever I am writing, it is not going to be visible to the user. So the second one is a text mode. One is single line, the second value is a password, and third one, if you want that your text box should work as a multi-line text box. If you want, write down about your hobbies or like that. So this is a multi-line mode, then your text box will be converted to multi-line text box. Automatically scrolling will come. Is it clear? And as it is a multi-line, another property for a multi-line text box, that is columns. How many columns you want to appear in your, at a time you want to appear, say 5. So 14. So let's forget right now. So now this is number of rows. How many rows at a time you want? Say 5 rows. 5. Say at a time 5 rows is visible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if I am going to write the 6th row, it is going to allow me to enter the 6th row, but then scrolling there. So at a time only 5 rows is visible, but it is only available, these columns and rows are available only with multi-line mode. You can set, but it works with only multi-line text box. So again, ID property, as this is a text box control, so write down the different controls. Insert table control and prefix. First control is text box. What will be the prefix? We are going to use txt, and you save this one and help file. So first is ID property, height and width property. These are the common properties which we are not going to explain using any control now, because these are the common properties now. Then back color is common property, border color, border style, border width, font, forecolor and text. These are the common properties. Now specific property of say text box control is a text mode, is a special property which is only there in text box control. And the most important 3 property which is very used to in life, that is a single line by default property, multi-line if you want it to be multi-line, and password once you want to grab the password from the user. So, and also, sorry, not 55. So once you are having a text mode and you are having a number of rows and number of columns. One is read-only property. By default, read-only is false. If you make it true, then this text box is read-only. You cannot write anything. It is a read-only. Say read-only is equal to true. Now I cannot write anything in this text. It's a read-only text. But the cursor is there. but I cannot read or write, so I cannot write anything in this particular control. And the same way, I only make it false and just copy something, make the text the show college. So okay, so right now I can edit this one, but if I will make it read only true and then run this one, so the string is there but I cannot see. I can copy, I can read, I can even copy this, but I cannot edit anything in the content of this particular text box. The same way in like read only property, there is property that enabled. Right now the control is enabled. If I will make it enabled false, then enabled false, see, even I cannot select this one. This control is entirely disabled. You can view this one. You cannot read, see, I cannot copy anything. I cannot do, it's a block, it's a disabled control. So in some circumstances, you come across a process in which some portion of your form should be disabled for some user. It should be enabled for another user. So programmatically, you can make enable and disable a particular control as per your needs or as per your requirement in the live projects. So that is why these properties are there. It's enable, disable, and these properties are also common with all the controls. Is it clear, the text box and the different properties of the text box? Now, what I want is that I want text box, I want one button, and I want to raise one event. That in a click event of the button, whatever the value I am entering into the text box, and I am very sure that I am going to enter only integer numbers. So I need to print out whether the number which is entered into the text box is even number or odd number. I want to write a simple program. Okay. So now let us demonstrate that program. Right click and create another page. Say even odd. So one is enter number, and then let's go for two box and then text box and give the name txt number. I want another control, that is a button control. I want another control, that is a button control. So button control is here. Double click on button control, the button control will appear over here, and just give the name, if as this button control btn check number. This is the name, but I need to set the text property check number. So another control for naming convention, it is button control, and prefix will be btn. Now I want third control. See again, now you are the third control. That is label control. It is label control. It is like a text box, but you cannot enter. It's only read only. It is only read only mode. The properties are same as text box, label control, and so it's a display label for us. So make it LBL display, and text property I don't want. I want the text property to be set dynamically. So label control is the label control LBL. Now what I want is first demonstration is whatever I am writing into the text box, it should appear into label. That is the first demonstration. Then we will check whatever we are going to enter, whether it is even number or odd number. So first, a simple thing, whatever we are going to write into the text box, it should be the text of label. And when on the click event of the check, so just double click Whenever you are going to double click, it will create one event for you. See, btn check number underscore click event. In this event, I am going to write the code, and this event is generated into .aspx.cs page. So I am going to write the coding, I am going to write the logic in this page, but it is going to appear in which page? .aspx page. So what is my agenda? What is my agenda there? Whatever I am entering into text box, it should be there with label. It should be there with label. That is the simple thing. So now, simple one line of coding is txt number dot which property you want to set? Text property. The text of txt number should be like this. LBL display, sorry, not it's a reverse. LBL display dot text should be txt number dot text. Whatever I am writing into text box, it should assign to label. When in the click event, just save this both form and right click and view in browser. Save, enter, darshan, check number, click. So whatever I am entering as a text property of text box, it is there with the text property of a label condition. Is it clear? Is it clear? So dynamically, whatever the property I have set via property window, the same properties dynamically, programmatically you can set from the code behind file. So that is called, see, .aspx.cs is called as the code behind file. Now the real thing is that whatever the number, now I assume that I am going to write only integer number. You assume that I am going to write only integer numbers. Now whatever the number I am going to enter, I want to print whether the entered number is even number or odd number. Is it clear? So what I need to do, so what is the logic behind even and odd? It's a common logic. The number modulo 2 is equal to 0, then it is a even number, else it is a odd number. It's a simple logic. This is simple logic. So in a check number, see, do you know the comment, how to comment in C language? Comment, if I want to comment this one. So the same comment here. Multi-line comment, less than star, yeah, the same multi-line comment is here in the C#. So whatever the command in C language, the same command you can use over here. Now, if text box number dot text modulo 2 is equal to 0, see the same if else statement like C language, then LBL display dot text is equal to even number, else it is odd number. Is it clear? Simple logic. If text box is text value modulo 2 is equal to 0, then yes, the even number which we are going to set as a labels text property. But here it gives me the error right now. I have still not compiled the website, nothing, but it gives me the error. See, string textbox.text gets and sends the text content of the system.web.ui.webcontrol. Operator percentage cannot be applied to operand of type string and integer. Here you check, this text is a string, this is a string by default, it will be the string value, and right side it is a integer value. So this percentage sign cannot be operated with string and integer simultaneously. Either it must be both integer or it must be both float or like this. So again, C# is a strictly typed language. C# is a strictly typed language. That means what? You must explicitly typecast or convert the type into equivalent and then it works. That means what? First I need to convert this text into integer. Then I can operate. So there is one class. Convert is a class. Convert. Dot. In which do I want to convert? In which type? To int32. Small integer, medium integer, and big integers. So routine is small. Routine is int32. That's what? This one. So now the error is not there. Convert is a class, and to integer 32 is a method. A class which does not require any object to run the method is called as which type of class? Static class. No need to have an object to call the method of that class. So this convert is a class which is inbuilt. To integer 32 is inbuilt method, and as argument we are passing text value. So automatically first it will convert the same thing into integer, then modulo division by 2, and whatever the answer will come, it will compare with 0. If it will be 0, then even number, as it is a odd number. Then now let us refresh this one. Now let me write 10. 10 is even number. 11 is odd number. Is it clear? Is it clear? So now let us demonstrate another one. I will have two text box. In first one I am going to write first number. In second text box I am going to write the second number, and there will be one button named calculate. So once I am going to press the calculate button, I want the summation of all these two values into 11. So now this program will have 1, 2, 3, 4 controls, 2 text box, 1 button, and the fourth one is 11. And the agenda is to have a summation, with the level. Is it clear? That we want. And let us again define summation demo, and in design mode let me have two text box. Let me have one button, let me have one label. Okay, so first let me set the text property by id property txt number 1 for txt number 2 for btn calculate, and text property is calculate, and then label LBL answer. Okay, now just double click on this one, so it will raise one event, that is click event. Now what I want is LBL answer dot text is equal to txt number 1 dot text plus txt number 2 dot text. Simple, it will add, and it will, whatever the addition will be there, and it will give the answer to your label control. It's a simple logic. See, text number 1 dot text plus text number 2 dot text. It will add these two numbers, and whatever the value it will assign to answers text. So now win browser. So let me write 10 and let me write 20. What should be the answer? 30. Are we getting 30? Are we getting 30? So it's a wrong answer. So instead of doing the addition, it has performed concatenation of two strings. Because internally, see, the text property of the first text box, the data type is text. The data type of second text box text property is a text. First text plus second text. So plus operator overloading. it will check, okay, both operators are string, then I will concatenate it. And whatever the result of concatenation, it will assign to this one number. So we have not got the summation. If we want a summation, then yes, first we need to convert the first number to integer, second number to integer, then we need to add these two numbers, and whatever the resultant output, again we need to convert the same to string, and that resultant string we need to assign to label. Strictly typecast. So, what will the change in the logic is, instead of this one, what you need to do is, LBL text is equal to, first you convert dot to id32 txt number 1 dot text. So first number is first converted into the integer. Second, again convert dot to id32 txt number 2 dot text property. But the addition of these two, see, again it gives us an error, because the addition of these two numbers again is integer, but here we are assigning to string. So what we need to do is, we need to convert this entire result into again string. So again convert the entire thing, convert dot to string, and here now it's okay. So the logic is, first convert the first number into integer, plus convert the second number into integer, whatever the output you convert it to the string and then assign to answer. So now 10, 20, 30. So we are getting the output which we expected. Now there is a homework for you guys. You must have, instead of 2 text boxes, you must have 3 text boxes. In first, you write down the numbers like this. Say this here. Number 1, then I am writing, say, number 2, like this. So you must have 3 text boxes. First is number 1, then operator. Anyone can write plus, minus, multiplication and division into second text box, then number 2, and then calculate. So if I have written minus, then answer will be the subtraction of 2 numbers. If I am writing multiplication, then multiplication of 2 numbers. So very simple calculator of 2 numbers. Is it clear? Yes. Again, if it's a division, and number 2 is 0, then you should display the number 2 cannot be 0, it must be non-zero value. So if condition you need to apply, if the value of text 2 is not 0, then do this operation before doing the you can say either modular division or simple division. So operation which is allowed to you is plus, minus, division, multiplication and modular division. Is it clear? That is your first. That is your first homework. The second homework, or not homework but lab work, so in which one is, you write down text box 1, give the name txt number 1, text box 2, give the name txt number, not txt operator, then text box 3, give the name txt number 2, then button control btn calculate, and then label control lpl, and operators allowed plus, minus, division, modular division, and multiplication. These are the operators which is allowed. If anyone is writing other than this, then in a label control you should write only following operations allowed, and then you should display only plus, minus, division, modular division, and multiplication is allowed. This sort of restriction you must put in this application. So before doing any sort of operation, you run your if conditions, and if your if condition is satisfied, then otherwise you return. Just you write down return in semicolon. Is it clear? Is it clear? Have you understood? The second one is you need to calculate the percentage. You need to calculate the percentage like this. Insert text box. Say subject marks. So you write down, say if you want 12th science group A subject, that means different subjects available is, one is physics, then second one is chemistry, then maths. Only one maths is there or two maths? Only one maths. One is language, either Sanskrit or Gujarati, and then computer. I think these 5 subjects are there in 12th science. Okay? You assume that you are preparing a result and you are asking for different subjects. So, subjects, and here you must have your text box, and you should write down the enter the marks out of 100. Enter the marks out of 100, and then automatically it should compute. Automatically, it should compute for you that total marks. So here it should be give you total marks, and then you should give percentage. Automatically you should enter the percentage and class. In which class is there? First class, second class, third class, first class, or fail. So public filter only this. Say I am writing 50, 50, 50, 50, and say 50. Then here say insert row below. So there will be one button over here. Mud cell, calculate. If I will press calculate, then it will sum all these marks and it will give me this one. Also it will give me percentage. Also it will define the class. So how you are going to define the class? Fail means what? Fail means less than 35%. Or in any subject less than 35 marks. Okay? If my percentage is 50, but in one subject I am getting the less than 35 marks, then also I am a fail. Then first class greater or equal 80 say. Second class greater or equal 60 but less than 80. Third class greater or equal 50 and less than 60. First class greater or equal 35 and less than 50. So these are the different classes available to you. So in the second experiment, we are going to perform this one. Is it clear? Is it clear? So right now it is up to this point. Should we proceed again? Oh yes, one more thing. What is remaining? And right now we do have time. Let us demonstrate some of the controls which are very handy controls. Very handy controls. So up to this point, the label control, where we are completing label control, text box control, and button control. So let me finish the video.